said what he did, like he snuck into like a Gatorade headquarters and like acted like he worked there. He like told the security guards like, "Oh yeah, I work here," and they let him in. And so those 3 security guys who've been working there for like years all got fired because they just let this guy in. And so that's what he felt bad about. So I mean, I think making jokes I would never say is like a sin or evil or whatever, but like the pranks where you're affecting someone else's day for clicks is I think that's kind of what he sees.
All right, boys.
57.
We are back. Welcome to the Riff Podcast, episode 57. We're getting into it. JiDion, the famous prankster, right? We've talked about last week. By the way, we are here every Monday and Friday, if you didn't know. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But last week, we talked about kind of the streamers and how things nowadays are starting to like move. I feel like they're moving more towards streaming in real life because people like to know what's going on in life, but with artificial intelligence and AI, it's like you can go so far in one direction that then people just like multiply and there's millions of like random crap. And so now it's more like on a holistic level, like connecting one-on-one with people is so much more relevant, I feel like, nowadays. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're going towards streaming more. But with that being said, you now have a lot of people watching more streaming, consuming more streaming content. That then means that you also have an influx of money going to the streamers, which then is going to bring greed, which then is going to bring more and more of that. But Parker was just telling me earlier today, JiDion, I guess, isn't necessarily falling into that. And obviously he was he was more of a YouTube like prank guy, and then got into streaming, just like I think a lot of these guys do. Would he be classified as a streamer?
I think now he's kind of is. I think he was streaming on. I know he got banned on Twitch for. Oh, I think he got banned on Twitch for saying something about Pokimane or something. And everyone always talks about that because Pokimane's like the daughter of Twitch. Like they'll do anything to protect her.
Really?
And so like they were all mad about that, but. Yeah, he was. I don't know what he was streaming on some different platform, and that's kind of when he started talking about all the, like the first clip I saw of him talking about like God and stuff. Like he kind of said he was kind of slowing down with pranks, and he said something about God and like just how he talks. I thought he was like doing a bit, like joking, because even like how he was talking about like God, I seemed like he was kind of saying like I wouldn't do that. I'm a son of God, just kind of like a joke, which I think he kind of was like started off as more joking or like he was just getting into it, so he didn't really feel like the right to like be serious about it. But now he's like, I think he's pretty serious about it now.
Yeah, well, I know. So we used to be in the whole like the internet, right? Like as far as like, you see it flickering? The light?
I didn't see it. Oh, no.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's all that.
Okay, I'm like, yo, I think there's something. There we go. I think he's about to go out, huh?
Probably.
All right, well.
Jake's not paying the bills around here.
No, I'm like, I have a shining bright light in my face. All right. No, anyway, so I think, like we used to be in the whole internet, like deep into it. Nowadays, I'm starting to get more removed. I think as we mature, then it's like we have other things to deal with, like paying the electric bills, right? And all that stuff. We have responsibilities. So it's like, okay, how invested do we need to be in these other people? Maybe a little less, but obviously still, somewhat, I guess, relevancy, whatever, still staying in the internet. But we used to watch Logan Paul every single day, daily vlogs, right? We used to watch, as we were talking about, Drama Alert, right? Killer Keemstar, FaZe Banks, even back then, had Mike Malak, had Rice Gum, all of those kind of I guess is that considered OG now?
I guess like they're OG like FaZe, like Banks and all them.
Yeah, I guess they're OG. Yeah, but so I remember watching them like daily and stuff, and we were deep into it. We knew everything that was going on whenever it was. Well, since then, things have obviously progressed, moved forward, and I still kind of like look into and we watch that stuff, right? So Impulsive was a podcast, came from Logan Paul, right? Mac Malak, and he had before some like vegan guy was on there. I forgot. You remember that guy?
The vegetarian one?
Yeah,
or the one?
vegetarian.
Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer. he was on there for a while and then got kind of kicked out. And then they played around with some people. Ended up George coming in, Janko. And he was in there. And I actually started watching Impulsive more when George came on. Because what he was talking about, like, quite honestly, anytime I would watch that Impulsive, I liked that third person who was a little bit different than Mike and Logan because they're very similar. Almost like clout chasing, fame, whatever, that kind of stuff. Well, those other guys are more kind of holistic, like, I don't really need that. Well, George is definitely that way. George, though, where Spencer was more based in, like, holistic spiritual, George was based on, like, a Christianity, right? Foundational Christianity. And what he talked about typically was, like, something that had to bring back to the Bible, back to Christ. Well, he got kicked off and whatever, all that sort of stuff happened. He ended up going and making his own podcast. I watched JiDion come on his podcast, and they had like a powwow about Christianity and about like God, Bible, all of this sort of stuff. And I don't know, from what I heard, or from what I listened when I listened to that podcast, what they talked about was Logan Paul and kind of the direction that he went was JiDion saw the writing on the wall. Because isn't JiDion in Prime or something with him?
No, I think he, like, for a while he was, like, promoting it just, like, I don't know if he was trying to get a bag from him or just kind of, like, as a joke, like almost like because everyone knew the Prime was kind of like the cringe stuff. So he was kind of playing like, oh, yeah, drink Prime. Like, I don't know if it was like that, if he's just trying to get a bag, but after him and Logan got in that big fight at one of Jake Paul's fights. Yeah. And after that, he stopped doing it completely. Like, they hate each other now, I'm pretty sure. But, so I'm sure he wouldn't be promoting Prime now. But
no, and I think they do. Like, because I think that's what he was talking about on that Janko podcast. Is I don't think he ever said he hated Logan, but he was like, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, the direction that he was going, and when you feed into the clicks, views, fame, fortune, greed, you want the spotlight, attention, all of that sort of stuff, and you do it for your own selfish gain, you start to build this ego around that. And I think Logan has done that, and he's not going away, and he's diving deeper and deeper into that hole. Whereas JiDion saw like that from an outside perspective and was like, yo, I don't want to go down that path.
It's funny because Mike Malak actually made a tweet about it. It was like either today or yesterday. And he like quoted that video of JiDion saying he was done. And he was like, I just want to say how much I respect his decision. He's like, it's hard like when you see that, like the light of what you can have, like what you can make, and then instead you take a route of fulfilling yourself and stuff. He's like just really proud to see that or whatever. So like Mike's he's seen both sides of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude.
With Logan and
I'm not gonna lie. I think Mike is a very like holistic person, but he also was a drug addict.
Yeah.
And he also like compromised his morals a long time ago. And I think he's an overall good person and still was taught like good values and morals and ethics, but he broke them a long time ago. And building that back, there comes a point where I think there's hope for everyone. Not there's no hope, but I think there comes a point where it's like, how deep can you go before you can actually climb out? And I think when you go down that drugs and deep in there, even if you recover from it, yeah, you can have your own life. And obviously Mike has made a life for himself and very well. But actually, no, I take that back because there are people who.
Yeah, I was waiting to rebuttal that. Yeah. I mean, like.
Yeah, because I disagree with that actually. Now that I think about it, because there's guys who murdered people and are completely like amazing people now.
And some people who like went down that far and came back are
even better
because they've seen what the other side can
exactly
be like sure, somebody who hasn't gone down that far, they're probably like, oh yeah, I bet that sucks. But when you've actually been there, you know how bad it sucks, like how bad it really is.
Yeah.
So you're even more on the opposite side. That's why Logan originally hired Mike, was after the whole Suicide Forest thing. He like brought him in to like almost be like his PR guy, kind of like make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
Like, so just like he had to hire somebody that's like really grounded, like knows his morals and rights and wrongs. So I think like And just being older too, like even like all of Mike's vlogs, even though he is like a friend with Logan, like mega fame stuff, I feel like he doesn't really like his vlogs are still super like personal.
Yeah, dude, his remind me very much of FaZe Banks when he would do his vlogs. He's just not like his personality is very to the core, just like genuine, you know, personality. Now the topics and stuff, he understands clicks, views, and likes. He understands all that, so he still does his best to do that. Like he's gonna put a girl on his thumbnail, right? He's got a new girlfriend now, whatever, all that sort of stuff. He's gonna keep on milking that because, like, that's what you're supposed. Like that's what people want, right? They want drama, they want they want negativity. Negativity spreads fast. Positivity spreads long, right? It'll last a long time. So. You know, kind of getting people in with those clicks and views, which we do the same stuff as well. Getting people in and bringing up the drama or whatever, talking about that, and then bringing it to like a realistic, like, okay, this is actually what's going on.
Yeah, which even, like, I can see Mike may like kind of toning back on some of that stuff now, like after seeing what JiDion did, and, like making that tweet and stuff, because I guess I'm sure most people have seen it, but we haven't even really said what JiDion did. But he made a video. I think he might have posted it to YouTube, but I saw it on Twitter. And he was basically saying, like, he's done with YouTube. He went back and deleted all his old prank videos, which, if you know how money on YouTube works, like, those videos would make him hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars down the road, just like because views always keep on coming up on old videos. So like, he lost a ton of revenue on that, but he's still just like, which I don't know if he was advertising those anyways, but he deleted all the old prank videos and said that basically, like, he had been talking to his pastor, and, like, his pastor said, like, not necessarily pranks are, like, a sin or pranks are evil, but in the Bible, it does hint that, like, pranks are evil. Like, and so he was like, I don't want to be, he's like, I've caused people to lose their job because of pranks I've pulled. He's like, and that's just pure evil. He's like, I don't want to be a part of that. So he's like, I deleted everything, and it's like the last you'll see me on YouTube. I don't know if he's still streaming and stuff or if he's done, like, completely social media, but seems like he's taking it pretty serious. So,
well, pranks on other people, right? That's the big thing. And because I see, like, when you know, we because pranks sell, right? Pranks do well. And when we did it to other people, that's where, but then that's what people want, right? They want to see that because, once again, you know, it's like, oh, who would ever do that, right? But when you do it on yourself, then it's a little bit different, right? So I guess because we, for instance, made a video that I never posted because I didn't think it was good. I didn't feel good about posting that video. I knew it was going to do well, right? I knew it was going to get a bunch of clicks, get a bunch of views. I knew it was going to had the potential to go viral, but I didn't feel good about posting it. I didn't want my reputation, like, why a bunch of people, now this video goes viral and that's the first thing that people see about me is me being basically a jackass. Like, I didn't want that. And so we just didn't post it, and we ended up doing something else and said, yeah, I'm not going to go down this prank route. And so honestly, props to JiDion for, like, understanding his morals and his ethics and realizing, like, I don't need to compromise that for money, right? For fame, for power. Like, I'm just going to be good, be a genuine good person, and, like, help people. I'm curious to see, though, because he had, like, people still want to watch him. He still has a good reputation. Like, he still has, I mean, he's a voice that I think needs to be out there instead of quitting and letting other prank people take his place. Why doesn't he continue to just pivot and do something, like, better?
Which he might, like, I'm sure he could come back in a few months and be like, I've decided that I can still make videos, but just about something more positive or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not done with social media. That's why I really don't know if he's done with it right now. I know he said he's done with YouTube, I think. But it's funny because, like, after seeing him do pranks for so long, like, the whole time he's making that video, I'm just waiting for, like, the punchline or something. I'm like, this guy's about to make the most messed up joke I've ever heard in my life. And then he just kept on going. He's like, all right, guys, I love y'all. See y'all. I'm like, that's it? No, I've been waiting on it. Yeah, I was like, where's the prank? I've been waiting on it. Like, just how he, like, talks, too. Like, seems like he's trying to say something funny, but he's being serious. Like, I don't know. It's funny, but yeah, I was surprised.
Huh. And it's also, like, because there are, I mean, obviously, like, comedians, right, or joke people. Like, the people who make jokes. And I wouldn't say that that's a sin, right? Because you still want people to make light of dark situations, right? Because that, in a sense, like if you're laughing, then you can't be sad, you know? So long as the punchline is not another individual, right? That's where it becomes, instead of jokes, it becomes now that sin, right? You're bullying, making fun of, whatever it may be. If it's about someone else, but if you do it about yourself, which most comedians I think do, don't they? Like they write jokes about themselves.
They do. Like they also like. I feel like making a joke is different than like pulling a prank, because like when you're on stage making a joke, you're not harming anybody. Like you're saying it as a joke, it's whatever. Like, but when you're pulling a prank, like even I was thinking about like JiDion's old pranks, and none of his pranks really like harmed other people. Like I know some of them like they made people mad, which even that like he would say it was like bad because him trying to make content for us. That's what he said. He was like, I would like ruin other people's days just to make content for you guys. So like when you're making a joke, you're not really ruining anybody's day. And then like how you got people fired too, like that's probably the big thing. Like he said what he did, like he snuck into like a Gatorade headquarters and like acting like he worked there. He like told the security guards like, oh yeah, I work here, and they let him in. And so those 3 security guys who've been working there for like years all got fired because they just let this guy in. And so that's what he felt bad about. So I mean, I think making jokes I would never say is like a sin or evil or whatever, but like the pranks where you're affecting someone else's day for clicks is that I think that's kind of what he sees.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like I said, good for him for like understanding that and realizing it. And once again, there is a market for pranks, right? Like there's always going to be, because people always want to see that sort of stuff. It's like the same thing for gambling, like casinos. But the only thing that you can fix is yourself. And so it's not like you can ban all casinos or ban all pranks, right? Like you're not going to be able to do that. But you personally can say, you know what, like that's not good for humanity. That's not what I don't want to be that person that does that. So then you can personally make that decision for yourself. I personally have made that decision. I don't want to be a prankster. Well, I have some jokes here and there every once in a while. Yeah, that's fine. Like you said, we're not physically or mentally harming anybody else in that process. I'm not saying I won't ever do a prank on myself either. Which I guess you can't really do that.
I was wondering what you meant by that.
Prank on yourself. I guess I'm more saying like jokes.
Yeah,
jokes about yourself. But I don't know. It just kind of comes down to your own personal preference, your own morals, your own ethics, and like what kind of impact do you want to make on this earth with the time that you have, right? Do you want to have people look at you like someone who hurt people and destroyed lives due to the comedic joy for other people? Or do you want to go out and fulfill your own life and make your own life with the ability to give a positive impact on the rest of the world in whatever way that you are valuable, whatever value that you can give? So once again, good for him. Kind of cool to see. There is dark side and there's light side. There's a yin and a yang through everything. So I don't know. That's it for the podcast, guys. Appreciate you watching, joining, viewing. As always, what do you think? You think pranks are bad? Think they're good? What do you think? Let us know down in the comment section below. Otherwise, guys, take it easy. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.